I'm Adam Diffin.
No, I'm Jeremy Cocaine.
This is Smith Welding Restoration. Nothing to add?
Well, it's what we work. That's what we do. We make
All right, so we got this in. See the brace over there? We're gonna have to build a piece there, fit it. We cut back the trunk. We cleaned it up. We got the braces. 3 of the 4 braces. The 4 are in. The 4th one is up underneath that section that I got to cut out. I only went that far because all that's pretty static still. We got good numbers. I pulled some. I made sure we were looking good over there, and then I'm gonna get all this shored up to where we're solid. You can see here along here, stitch welding it all the way across, plug welding every 2 to 3 inches on the bracing. Get that out of the way. It's actually pulled to and welded to the inner wheel arch. I'll explain that later. You can see where it's pulled away. I've been working it back to it slowly as I go over. And that's actually why I hit the record button today. You can see that it's really deformed. It's not conforming, and this was as bad right through here. This was actually pulled out to about here, this whole thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take handy dandy map torch right there. What I'm doing, basically I'm annealing the steel, and I want to show you kind of how I'm getting all my fitment where I want it, since everything's not quite 100%. It never is 100%. We're going to come in here, and we're going to go ahead and heat this up. You're not hurting nothing. You're going to end up shrinking it and stretching it depending on where and how you hit it. You can see it just start to discolor, meaning she's getting hot. And we'll come in here. Now what I had done over here, I heated up all the way down into here and up the center and across. I heated up that whole section, and I actually used my body, the proper hammer. I used my cross peen hammer, and I hammered all that in, and then I used a big mason's chisel, a target chisel, and I got that tucked in there nice and tight. And I've been using this just because it was in my hand. Press this up tight, weld it, hammer that weld. Press this up tight, weld it, hammer that weld. So then what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up heating up this whole area. Mind you, you're looking at this upside down because I am. You're going to end up heating up this whole area here. And then once you get it there, you jam that in there, and it will pull it down to that contour. You're going to pull a lot of this true, because what it's going to do is shrink this area up, cause it to draw down, and then it's also annealed, which makes it softer. It's stamped. It wants to stay in that stamped position. You anneal it, it allows you to move it around. It's getting painted above and below, sealed, all that jazz. So we're not worried about burning off epoxy or anything. So that's where we're at. I'm going to continue that across, and I'll go to the front of the floor pan and do pretty much the same recipe all the way across there till I cannot anymore, where it needs sectioned in. Then we bust out the plasma cutter, get the outer wheel arch cut out, the rest of the inner wheel arch cut out, and start trimming the floor pan, the 4th brace. Well, not trimming, get those ready to go in, the trunk drop off, and so forth and so on. More than likely we'll put the quarter panel on before we finish the trunk pan, at least get it fitted, because everything snuggles up to it. Back later. So we're fitting the quarter panel and such. I'll kind of show you what I got going on. I've got it clamped in the wheel arch in 2 spots. It actually fits pretty decent. The quarter panel with the inner and outer wheel arch, it all fits up pretty decent. It's not bad. I got Clecos. Oh, let me get you some light. I got Clecos all over the place, basically mounting tabs. as I put the inner wheel arch in, got it shimmied adjusted, got the outer wheel arch in, got it shimmied adjusted, drilled through. I put the outer one on, drilled through, clecoed it, got it where I thought I liked it. So I'm out here and I'm looking in and I'm adjusting things. That line with the braces and everything isn't bad. That line with the bracing and the frame, that line's not bad. It's very similar to the other side. And I'm looking at it out here and everything is pretty good. I've got the rocker structure and everything in there, all that inner structure. I was looking at how that fitted. It looked pretty good. And then now we're gonna go in here and look at something else that I neglected. This is why you don't start fucking welding. That's not a big deal. I mean, that can be pushed down, but it doesn't want to be pushed down. That means it's got to either rotate or it's got to come this way. This right here, you can see where it fits up against the floor pretty good here, and we lose it right here. So with this in here already, and a lot of things already started off on the wrong leg, I have to take this flange off of both these arches, inner and outer, and I've already taken a lot of that out. I've already notched it and shit. You can see that right there. So what I need to do now is take and just cut it at an angle up, so I can slide this whole thing. All I need is, you know, when you're talking cars, a ½ inch is a big deal, but I need a ½ inch there. I need to go slide this forward a ½ inch. How I came to that final determination is this location, which it could be different. Fair enough. But you look over here and I've got it set up reasonably. Again, this side isn't correct because I couldn't start off on the right foot. But from the edge of this to the divot, or even to here, you pick a point. From here to here, you measure that. You know, let's just follow this divot around to there and measure from here to here. Then you come over here, follow this divot around, measure from your inner wheel arch to here. See how those don't line up quite? These flanges don't line up quite specific. The interiors are actually really nice how they're lined up. So you measure from the inner one to here. It's a big fagging difference, okay? This has got to come this way a ½ inch. So I pop all my clecos loose. I pop my clamps loose. I'm gonna sight the inner line where the inner and outer wheel arches meet. If I really like those, I'm gonna leave those. I'll take it out, I'll clamp it, I'll re-cleco it rather, and then I'll put new clecos in positions where there's no bracing on the interior, so I can keep them lined up how they are, and I'll slide it in there. Anyhow, it's a process, as anything, but if you're going to embark upon the process, don't jump in. I jumped in a lot more than I should have, but I was already dealt with a half fucked up situation. So I'm straightening out here, straightening out there, breaking it in the middle, and then now I have to replicate what's not quite right on the driver's side on the passenger side. I can make all my parts fit damn near perfect on the passenger side. The driver's side, not so much. Not without a serious overhaul of what was already done. That's not in the cards. So what do? Do you make one side fit perfect, the other side not? No, not by my limited experience and knowledge. We make both sides off, and then we will dress everything that's off to make it look appropriate. The reason you want everything off the same amount on each side, if this is dropped this much or lifted that much from one side to the other, you could really alter the way the car sits. You could alter the way the bezels sit. You could, I mean, there's so many aspects. So, you know, you just always remember, as above, so below. You take what's on one side, you replicate it on the other side as near as you're able, and whether it's right or wrong, you'll come out with a straight car. That's the theory. If you do one side perfect, it's like having two different people work on a car. One guy does it this way, another guy does it that way. They may both be correct, but it may look different. It may set something different. I don't know. 68 Chevelle. It's closing time. I'm gonna wrap up. I'm gonna come back in the morning, Saturday, and I'm gonna move that wheel arch over, get it all busted out the way it needs to be, and then I'll get the wheel arches in, get everything fitted up, get the quarter panel on. My goal for tomorrow is to have nothing but a little bit of welding left. Tops. We'll see. I mean, there's 8 feet there. You know, you've got 12 feet of continuous weld and about 100 spot welds that need done. That shit takes time. Actually, I got about 12 feet of continuous weld. The 8 feet on the outside is the important one. You can't warp that panel. I'll come back. Well, my new bestest friend. It's coming. We got her near where we want her. You can see how far gap that is down there, right? It's not sucked up there yet. I got it fastened to the top rib, remember? In here. I got all that welded up. It's just floating otherwise, which is why it's pulled away there. That is from the floor pan installation I had nothing to do with other than finishing it. That is about the same as that over there. I got it trimmed, fitted, as this afternoon developed into later in the afternoon. I developed a solid case of the buckets, and I didn't want to screw up anything I'm working on. It's time to go find food, something else to do for a little bit. It's coming along good though. I'm happy with it. I want to stop by, he's happy with it. Yeah. That pan's ready to drop in place. At this point, all I gotta do is clean up basic surfaces, drill holes, and clamp the parts together that we know have a static position now. And then other parts will be moved around to fit properly, or I don't know about properly, but fit here in a bit. So we're gonna boogie. It's Saturday. I'm tired. I'm hungry. Wow, made it to the end of the video. Thanks for checking in. Come back on the next one. See what the hell we're going to do next time. Subscribe, comment. Find us on over on the old Facebook, Smith Welding Restoration LLC on Facebook. Numbers at the beginning. Have any questions? Call.